Hi everybody, this is Randy from Hot Snarky Plant Based, and I've started this YouTube channel to share my fat loss journey while in perimenopause and over the age of 50. And while I'm on this fat loss journey, I'm doing it, I guess, the natural way, meaning I'm not using any injectables. I don't do intermittent fasting. I don't take any diet pills. I don't do meth. You know what I'm saying, that kind of thing. So I'm doing it, I guess, the old-fashioned way. 3 years ago is when I had successfully lost 30 pounds while eating a whole food plant-based diet, lifting weights, doing cardio. I wasn't tracking calories. I was able to do this just by eating a really healthy, whole food plant-based diet. And then about 2 years ago, I realized that I had gained quite a bit of weight back. And I had lost focus. I wasn't working out as consistently. I wasn't weighing myself routinely. My life had gone through a lot of changes. And so it felt like I woke up one day and there was 20 extra pounds. So that really sucked. And it was at that point that I realized my hormones were starting to change. And little did I realize my metabolism was also starting to change. So with these changes in my metabolism, which I'm sure a lot of you can relate to, basically, and the changes in my hormones, I started feeling very tired, very fatigued, bloated, anxious, depressed. My energy definitely wasn't where it was before. And then, like I said, I started gaining weight, and a lot of that weight was focused in my midsection. So after all of this happened, I did take action, and I started to clean up my diet. I started trying to cut out the excess sugar I was eating. I got back into weightlifting really consistently. I started doing HIIT training several days a week. And I did this for probably a year and a half. And although I feel like I developed some great muscle and grew muscle, which is awesome, I will say I really wasn't losing fat. And I found this really, really frustrating. And I didn't understand why I was doing the same stuff I had done a couple of years before and definitely not getting the same results. And so what I discovered after reading many books on perimenopause and menopause and listening to a lot of doctors who have done all this research is that when your estrogen and your progesterone start to change and fluctuate, your metabolism slows down. And any fat that you do gain will generally go to your midsection. So 3 of the key factors that I believe were not working for me and working against me were the beliefs that I could eat intuitively, as I had done before, and lose fat. And the belief that I didn't need to track calories to lose fat. And I'm somebody, as a younger person, tracked calories for years. Calories, macros, whatever. Did it for years. I hated doing it, you know. And so when all of this started happening, I just didn't want to track calories anymore. I didn't want to do it. So I just thought, no, I know how to eat. I know how to eat healthy. And so that's what I was attempting to do for the past year and a half. The other piece was that I wasn't working on my stress and sleep. My life was really stressful. I had a lot of inflammation going on, and my sleep was kind of haphazard. So all of these things also can contribute to you not being able to lose fat effectively. So after I finally figured out what my correct calorie deficit should be for me and my body and this current metabolism that I'm working with, I've been tracking my calories for the past 10 weeks and I've lost 11 pounds. Very excited about that. So happy. I feel like I have quite a ways to go, but you know what? 11 pounds is 11 pounds. 5 pounds is 5 pounds. Whatever progress you can get from doing what you're doing is amazing. And so I'm really excited about that. Super excited because it felt like it would never happen. But I will say the number one thing that contributed to this fat loss is tracking my calories and knowing exactly what I'm putting in my body and knowing what the correct number is so that my body will actually use fat for fuel. I've realized, and especially not just myself, but working with women and talking with my friends, it is so easy to tell ourselves that we know how to eat healthy. We don't eat anything super high fat, or we don't eat fried foods, that kind of thing. And it doesn't matter. This is what I've realized. You can gain weight or maintain your weight on anything. And just because something is seen as a health food, like avocados, nuts, chicken breast, potatoes, rice, it doesn't matter. You can overeat that and gain weight. So the bottom line is you have to know what you're putting in your body to lose fat. The second thing that I really needed to do when I started this journey a few weeks ago was that I needed to reset my expectations. I needed to let go of a time frame that I had in my head of when I wanted and expected to lose this weight, and just focus on the steps that I'm taking to lose the fat. So the only thing we can control truly is the steps we're taking to try to lose the weight we want to lose. We can't control the timeline in which this happens. I'm lifting weights 5 days a week, very consistently, and building muscle. I'm making sure that I'm getting anywhere between 5 and 10,000 steps in per day. I usually go on one longer hike each week, and then maybe a couple days a week I might do a 20-minute of HIIT workout or a 30-minute moderate cardio workout. So I'm just making sure that I'm active all throughout the day, because basically I don't want my metabolism to go to sleep for the day. So in addition to losing so far 11 pounds of fat, the even more exciting news is that my visceral fat has gone down, and my subcutaneous fat, of course, has gone down. But the visceral fat is huge because that is the fat that develops around your organs, is metabolically active, and contributes to all kinds of metabolic disease. So that is the main number that I was looking for to start heading in the right direction, and that it is finally doing. And another key point is that I have preserved my muscle mass, which can be really difficult to do when you're in a fat loss phase. And you don't want to lose muscle, of course, because the less muscle you have, the slower your metabolism. And honestly, most people are going to prefer how their physique looks with more muscle anyway. So the fact that I preserved all my muscle so far is amazing. And this is done mostly by lifting weights regularly and consuming enough protein. Doesn't matter if it's animal protein or plant protein, you just need to consume enough protein for your height, weight, activity level. So here are the key takeaways if you're trying to lose fat in perimenopause or menopause. Number one, you need to track everything you're eating and drinking every day. Yes, weekends count. You need to set a realistic goal for yourself. I wouldn't set necessarily a timeline on this. I would just set goals of what you're going to actually do every day, and then you need to really, really find your patience, because in my opinion, it takes a lot more time and it's a heck of a lot slower than we would like it to be. And if you're losing 0.5 pound to 1 pound a week, that's amazing. Please don't compare yourself with all of these celebrities right now that are taking certain injectables and losing insane amounts of weight. That is not realistic for most of us, and it's certainly not realistic when you're doing it in such a way that is healthy and sustainable, which is most important. Fat loss is not linear, so if you're using a scale as a measurement, which most of us do, realize that it's completely normal to have some weeks where you're up and some weeks where you're down. It's really the overall trend that counts. And especially if you're still getting a period and cycling, you're going to definitely have times of the month where you're bloated and you're just heavier. Most importantly is to keep going no matter what. If you need a day to rest, or you're not feeling well, or you have no energy and you just need some time off, one day off from the gym, or you need to eat a little bit of comfort food one day, that's okay. It's a long journey and you need to give yourself grace with that. So please be patient, but don't give up. The only way you're going to fail is if you give up. So if you are on a fat loss journey and you're in perimenopause or menopause, please like and subscribe and comment below where you are in your journey right now. I would love to hear from you. And stay hot and stay snarky, and I'll see you next time. Bye.